from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the AFC NFC Pro Bowl. And the NFC versus Lamar Jackson and the AFC.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Well, we are a week away from Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, but the very best players in the NFL have made the trip out to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Maybe the threat of Russell Wilson running the football there and him handing it off opened a little bit of a lane.
It does, and what also helps, his unselfishness. Because he's not a quarterback who's going to take it every time and pull it from the running back and keep it. He will hand it inside when the reads are correct.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. Now he bowls him over. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. I'll call that a very strong gain of 24.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run. It's Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Trying to finish off this opening drive from the 3. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. From 3 yards out. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
His kick is good, and the NFC goes up 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. The AFC heading out. A lot of stars to choose from over that conference, but their starter at quarterback, it's Lamar Jackson.
And no one can run the football like Lamar Jackson from the quarterback position. The most dynamic guy with the ball in his hands since probably Michael Vick. Got more accurate throwing the football each and every year in Louisville. But how about this one? A first-round pick in 2017, the number 32 pick in the first round. The last guy to do that at Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater, the same exact pick when he came out.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
50-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
NFC 7, AFC nothing.
Mixon with a first down carry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a gain of a yard there, and now will be third down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. The 20. And he will take this back. A fumble return for an NFC touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now Gold for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard.
So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with first and 10. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll pull it down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Derrick Henry. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studio. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And Deontay Harris of the Saints back deep for the NFC. That's taken on the 25. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Well, they imposed their will on that last drive. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. Throwing again. Wilson now on the run. He'll throw it back deep. Oh, and this is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into Danger Russ.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. Gold to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The AFC takes over 1st and 10.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know,
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson from the shotgun. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They'll bring out 4 receivers, 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. He's going to take off with it. 20. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Russell Wilson. As the first half is winding down. And the NFC adds on to their lead.
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
Now Gold for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The AFC going to get the ball first as we are back underway on EA Sports.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman.
The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down.
Oh, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, That's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside, as he did there.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Brings up third down.
Again, it's Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Harris now to return. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. A run of the jet sweep with Jones.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball. I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown, NFC. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Gold to add the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. But no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. The AFC set to take over on offense.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll run it again with Henry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Jalen Ramsey brought him down. That's a gain of
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
at the 6-yard line.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Joey Bosa, so strong, able to fight his way in there to make the play.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson, eluding the pressure right. Looking deep for Julio, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Hardman on the return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Back out is the AFC offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A draw play for Mixon, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now.
Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Harris returning. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Wilson going to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Second and goal from inside the 5. This is McCaffrey. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch it out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 4th and goal.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Oh, look at this play call. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So that, Charles, his second touchdown of the ball game. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
Now Gold for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman.
The offense for the AFC set to go now. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to...
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.